in Georgetown on this wonderful Kimanian evening. I stand before you with a heart full of hope, a mind brimming with ideas, and a steadfast commitment to addressing the social issues that challenge our communities. We live in a time of both unprecedented opportunity and significant obstacles. It is our responsibility as Kimanians to navigate these challenges and work tirelessly towards a society that upholds justice, equality, and the well-being of all citizens. Social care has been my first and most caring and daring profession and my life's work, which I hope to take to the next level for the benefit of all Kimanians with the support of my fellow Eastenders come April the 30th and the PPM government. It may be presumptuous of me to say PPM government, but I have faith in the people of these islands. You are tired, false promises, and nothing has been happening for you, the people of these islands. If you want education reform, immigration reform, housing opportunities, if you want to turn this country around, vote PPM. One of the most pressing issues we face, despite the wealth and development of our country, too many of our fellow citizens struggle to make ends meet. Families are forced to choose between paying rent, utilities, or food. This is no longer acceptable. To combat this, we will implement comprehensive economic policies that ease the burden of working families. This includes raising the minimum wage a livable standard, ensuring affordable housing, and expanding access to essential services such as childcare and health care by investing in robust social safety nets and job training programs. We can provide individuals with the skills they need to thrive in a rapidly changing world. We believe that healthcare is a fundamental human right, yet hundreds of people in our country are uninsured and underinsured. We will work to ensure that every person have access to affordable, high-quality healthcare. This means not only expanding coverage, but also addressing the root causes of health disparities, such as affordable insurance, socioeconomic factors that lack of access to preventative care. We will focus on the policies that increase funding for mental health services and support innovations and telemedicine. By focusing on prevention and early intervention, we can improve health outcomes and reduce the overall cost of healthcare in our country. Education is the cornerstone of prosperous and equitable society. Every child deserves a quality education that equips them with knowledge and skills to succeed. However, our education system disparities and disproportionately affect low-income and minority communities. We must change this, that all schools can be the schools of excellence. We must invest in our public schools, ensuring we have resources needed to provide a rich and supportive learning environment. This includes smaller class sizes, updated technology, and well-trained, adequately compensated teachers. Additionally, we should expand access to early childhood education and make higher education more affordable through scholarships and grants, as our Honorable Premier did, Miss Juliana O'Connor Connolly. Our criminal justice system is in dire need of reform. It is a system that too often targets and marginalizes the vulnerable, perpetuating cycles of poverty and inequity. We must work to create a system that is fair, just, and focuses on rehabilitation rather than punishment. Climate change and environmental degradation poses significant threats to our island and our communities. Low-income and minorities communities bear the brunt of environmental hazards, especially the impacts of extreme weather events. We must take bold action to combat climate change by transitioning to renewable energy sources, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, solving our solid waste crisis, and promoting sustainable practices. At the same time, we must ensure that our environmental policies are equitable and that vulnerable communities are protected and supported. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenges we face are great, but so is our potential to overcome them. It requires courage, determination, and a commitment to justice. Together, we can build a society where every person has the opportunity to thrive, where equality is not just an aspiration, but a reality, and where our children can look to the future with hope. I have highlighted some of the issues this evening, along with some of the solutions. I invite you to follow our campaign to hear more and in greater detail. I ask for your support and your partnership and your vote in this election. Let us work together to create a better and more just Canada for all. I thank you, and may you continue to strive for progress and equality. Vote PPM on April the 30th, and let's turn this country around.
Thank you, Delmira. On International Women's Day, we just heard from our final woman lady speaker, and I would invite each of the PPM ladies on stage to stand.
In recognition of International Women's Day, we thought it be important that we recognize those that we work with every day. Our team, our family, the ladies in the PPM. And so we wanted to present them each with a little bouquet of flowers to show from all of the gentlemen in the PPM to show our gratitude for you and for all that you do.
We're coming near to. I hope now I'm about to introduce someone. And I hope tomorrow morning when I say what I have to say, Donna, you won't come and beat me. But you know, it must be like for 8 years, when we drive on the road, we're seeing certain yellow signs. And to be honest, Kenneth, I'm can tell you, me and Christopher nearly breaks our neck looking away. But I can tell you, those red ones with you, they are beautiful. In fact, we make 2 or 3 circles just to look at them again. Tonight, we have seen the leadership and passion that will guide Cayman forward. The PPM is ready to serve, ready to lead, and ready to take action for our people. To wrap up this wonderful and powerful evening, we welcome a leader, and I must repeat what was said in Parliament by the opposition leader, the Honorable Joey Hugh. This person, this elected member, this member has matured. And I'm going to tell you, we are really, really proud and happy. We are really happy you're back home. We welcome a leader who speaks up, shows up, and stands up for his people every day. Let's give it up to Mr. Georgetown Central, Kenneth Bryan.
I'm the CPM candidate for Georgetown. So one of the things that really made me happy over my time representing Georgetown Central is when we had the Hawks Night Bay Day. Because Hawks Night Bay Day is such a cultural thing for us in Georgetown, where all the Georgetowners used to go down by Hawks Night Bay and bathe in the sea on a Sunday after church. It was a tradition, and obviously as we grew and we developed, it's kind of diminishing. So specializing one day just for that, and seeing all the seniors come out and a lot of the kids today that don't know about that time when we used to do that as a tradition, was really awesome to see them jumping in the ocean and taking the seniors back to the days when they grew up. So that was a special moment for me.
When the lights out, still can see me shining on my lighthouse. Lights out, are you ready? Are you ready? I'll show you the way to top the lighthouse. Lights out, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready, Cameron? Let me say that one more time. Are you ready, Cameron? Oh, what an honor it is to be here with you tonight. Look at those two beautiful dogs. I wish I could come and squeeze both of you so much. Can you guys take a picture of that for me, please? I want to make sure that memory is always with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I never really thought that this feeling would feel so good. What a beautiful sight it is tonight to see so many of you here. I want to first say thank you so much for taking out the time out of your day, because I know you didn't have to come here. And I know that you came here because many of you, like us, want to make sure that we do the right thing to secure the future of the Cayman Islands. And it tells me that you want proven, stable leadership. Now, you've heard a lot of the campaign hits and blows, but I'm going to be a little serious with you tonight. First, talking about the reasons why I came, and a little bit more spice. It's truly an honor to be here with you tonight, not just as a candidate, but as a member of the People's Progressive Movement. I know that some of you are still trying to get comfortable with the idea of me wearing the red shirt, but that too shall pass. You know why?
because it's never about colors that you wear. It's about the issues that you fight for and the people that you fight for. For those of you who have been a part of this great party for years, I understand that my presence on this stage may bring back many memories of a different time and a different journey. So tonight I want to speak to you about why I'm standing here before you once again as a PPM member. I want to tell you why I have returned and why I believe now more than ever that the PPM government is the best team to take this country forward. Now, many of you may remember that I first started politics in 2013. I was young, full of energy, and eager to save the world, believing that I can do it all on my own. I was unsuccessful in that election, but I stayed committed. I worked alongside the progressives for 2 years, but eventually we part ways as I had to find my own way. Although I was still full of energy and enthusiasm, I needed to grow and I needed to mature. And let me tell you, I did. I'm stronger, I'm smarter, and I'm more experienced than I was 12 years ago. And one of the biggest things that I've learned is that no matter how much I wanted to be all things to all people and to solve every problem in Cayman, I realized I could not do it alone. And that's because being a representative that wants to get things done and make your lives of your people better, make it easier, is not about being the individualism approach. It's about the collective team approach. It's about teamwork. It's about having structure. It's about focus. It's about disciplined approach to good governance to deliver the things that you need done for the Cayman Islands. I learned the hard way that no matter how much passion or good intentions a person may have, real progress requires strong, stable, united fronts for your people. Some of you may recall that in 2017, I was honored to be chosen by the good people of Georgetown Central. And I want to say with all my heart, I love you so much. And I know that my wife is really jealous of our relationship. Trust me on that one. And I'm even more honored that when the election in 2017 was over, there was peace and mutual respect between myself and the Honorable Marco Archer, who was my candidate that I faced. That's the kind of politics that I believe in. Maturity. The kind that even if we disagree on the battlefield, that we can still put the country first. And an example of that political maturity is the fact that Mr. Archer stands as an appointed member of the Cayman Airways board today with me as the minister. And as we fast forward to 2021, I was elected once again by the good people of Georgetown Central. This time in the midst of the infamous COVID-19 era. Individuals from different backgrounds, perspectives, different political ideals, because we were all elected by the people. So we decided to join forces in hopes that despite of our differences, that we can work together for the good of the country. Now, in theory, it's great, very doable if you work really, really hard. But in practice, it is very, very difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honest enough to stand before you tonight with the humility to admit that while we tried our absolute best, the reality is that our government was pulling in many different directions and we could not function appropriately. We struggled to agree upon one singular approach to solving pressing issues that affect you every single day. Things like the cost of living, minimum wage, immigration reform, or even housing for our good people of this country. Now, don't get me wrong. We had the energy and we wanted to bring about change, but we lacked the structure and the unity that are absolutely necessary to get most things done in governance. And so maybe halfway through the term, as I was analyzing, I realized that I had to make a decision. Sooner or later, if I was going to run for this country again, I had to decide. Is it raining? All right, that means I need to speed it up. All right, one way or the other, I realized I had to be there for my people. So I decided to work with the progressives, and that's what guided me back here today. But there is one defining moment that opened my eyes and pushed me towards the PPM direction. And that moment showed me exactly what proven, stable leadership is like. And that's when I had to answer the question of what I'm going to do. And I want you to share this moment with me as I show it to you with this clip that you're watching the screen right now.
The recent resignation of government ministers have left a void in our country's leadership, shaking the confidence of our people, the business sector, and our standing in the international community. My number one priority, and the priority of all my PPM colleagues, is the well-being of our islands. We have listened closely to your concerns and know that Caymanians want leadership that prioritizes unity, stability, and responsible governance. Your well-being is at the heart of our every decision. I had the opportunity to speak to Her Excellency the Governor, Ms. Jane Owen, who has confirmed that she's considering the earliest possible date for the next general elections. However, she is concerned, as indeed we are, that the date set will not disenfranchise newly registered voters that are not yet on the official voters register. In the interest of stability, until the next general elections are held, the business of government must continue. We fully recognize that important initiatives must continue for the good of the country. For example, ensuring that voters' rights are respected. In addition, the Premier have advised me that there is important financial services legislation that is still outstanding and which must move forward before Parliament is dissolved. Therefore, we will not hinder the government from bringing important business to Parliament until the Governor determines the time frame for the general elections. This approach will provide the confidence the Caymanian people and the international business community need, and it will assist in a fair elections process. It will also allow our people to consider all options for Cayman's best path forward. Our commitment to you is to remain vigilant, supportive of stability, and prepared to lead with unwavering integrity and accountability. We will continue to listen to you and act in the best interest of our country. The recent resignation.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is true leadership. That right there is strength and discipline. That right there is when you put your country first. The Honorable Joseph Hugh, our leader, had a choice, you see. He could have pushed for a snap election when the government was unstable.
He could have seized the power at a time when the PPM was strong, in a strong position to take over, and no other parties were formed yet, much less even ready. But he chose to put the country first. And his selfless choice, and that selfless choice ensured three essential things: that all the persons who weren't registered to vote yet, or those who got registered but were not officially on the list yet, were on the electoral roll and actually had a chance to have their say come April 30th. His choice also ensured that there was enough time for a fair and free election. Which politician you know gives his opponent fairness and opportunity other than a responsible, proven leader? And more importantly, he chose to safeguard our economy by protecting our financial services industry, which doesn't respond well to political shocks and uncertainty. We were in the midst of international negotiations with our regulators, and the finance minister dropped the ball and left us hanging with no notes. And if it wasn't for the amazing experience of this lady you see here tonight, to pick up the ball from off the ground and go over to the UK and keep our financial services together, we may not be here today in the same happy mood that we are. My friends, our leaders chose stability over self-interest. He chose his people over the economy and over power, which is not something you see too often. And it truly impressed me. So I know what decision I had to make. I knew that this was the kind of team member that I wanted to stand beside. I saw that there was proven, stable leadership in his skills. I knew that this was going to be a team that had the experience and the discipline and the unity to truly take the country forward. And ladies and gentlemen, that is in converse to what the other two parties are offering you. I want you to pay close attention to me, folks. I don't want to take up too much time to talk about those other two parties, but I have to do it in contrast for you to understand what is at stake. The TCCP Foundation is built upon and led by members who will walk away and leave you when times get hard. And the CINP is led by a person who's willing to sell you out when times get hard. No, I know that may just sound like political politics, but this is a fact. Watch me now.
I want just to keep out that other person from tell us about every single government asset from water authority to Cape Rita Cayman.
In 2014, the Cayman Islands government was faced with financial crisis. They commissioned a report by EY to give them options as it related to how they could free up capital to make much needed investment in a variety of things, including infrastructure. That report was produced at a time when I was the managing partner of Ernst & Young in Cayman. Issues we were faced with back in 2014 are completely different than the challenges we're faced with today. Our challenges today require a whole different set of solutions. So let me be clear, the Cayman Islands National Party has no intention of selling the Water Authority, Radio Cayman, or indeed Cayman Airways.
Even if it's just...
All right, folks, you heard it out of his mouth, right? Not mine. Now, he didn't disagree with the recommendations. He never said that. He didn't say, well, that was somebody else who recommended it in his firm. But what he did say is that those recommendations was because we were in a financial crisis in 2014. And that the National Party, and watch the key word now, has no intentions to sell Water Authority, Radio Cayman, or Cayman Airways. Remember that word intention for a minute. Now, I'm not really going to go into all the other things that are a part of that EY report, like cutting the civil service staffing, or selling the turtle farm, or selling Crown Land, or selling HSA, or selling UCCI, or selling the Cayman Islands National Development Bank. I'm not going to talk about that because that report is made public for all of you to see for yourself. Because we are here to talk about you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it tells me when he says we have no intent of selling your prized possessions? That though the party has no intentions to do so, if we find ourselves in a financial situation of difficulty again, that he would. Now, if I was him, I would have said, nope, I agree with the report, and I would never do such thing. You know what he said? I have no intentions to do so. That means if you are a civil servant, if you work for Cayman Airways, if you work for Water Authority, if you work for UCCI, you should be shaking in your boots if that man takes control of this country. And the sad truth is, although I hate to say this, with the global uncertainty that we have today, that could be a reality. You heard the Honorable Premier talk about the chaos that is happening with the other countries. Canada, I don't even want to mention the president's name, and then the chaos that I'm seeing over there. But the global situation, we have to have proven, stable leadership for the next 4 years. But let me go back to the reason why I joined PPM. You see, many people want to focus on the leader of the CINP. I can't get them right, CINP. And what they said, because it's scary and you should be scared. But what I want to look at is the positives. Because you see, the people don't see the contrast. Is that at that time, the progressives were given recommendations by the highly qualified individual that is presenting himself to lead you. And you know what the Sir Alan McLaughlin said? Oh, no, not on my watch. And 10 years later today, we didn't sell any assets and Cayman continued to survive. And ladies and gentlemen, that is proven, stable leadership. So as I wrap up my contributions, I want to say to you, I know that there's many of you who supported me as an independent, who felt assured about me joining the progressives. And I also know that there are many of you who are some long-time PPM supporters who questioned, Mr. Leader, are you sure you want to bring him back into the fold? But here's where I see the strength and the positivity in this moment tonight, which speaks to everything I've been thinking and talking about. Both sides, my supporters and my new PPM family, have to put aside our differences and our past political battles for the good of this country. Because we recognize that we must work together if we are truly going to build a brighter and better future for our people. And so, to those who might still be unsure, I say this: I am still your Kenneth Bryan that you know. I'm the same person who will always fight for Georgetown Central, and I will always be that person for you if you bless me with the continued role of being your representative for Georgetown Central. But now we're a part of a team that has structure, has the experience and the discipline to ensure that we can get the things done that we say we're going to do. We also have the ability and the unity to implement them to make your lives better. And I must say, Mr. Leader, I am truly honored to be selected as your deputy leader of this party to ensure that the things that we say we're going to do, to make sure that we get them done for you, the good people of the Cayman Islands. And that is real partnership, and that is real teamwork. My friends, I want to do more. I'm ready to do more. Because all of you listening tonight, all of you present, and every single one of you who's going to watch this viral video by tomorrow, you deserve better. And we are the best way forward for the Cayman Islands. So in closing, please make sure that you come out to our manifesto launch on April the 5th, right here on this same ground, as we lay out the plans of exactly how we're going to make Cayman the best place to live in the world. You deserve a government that is sure. You deserve a government that is steady, not stifled by uncertainty. You deserve a government that will not crumble when it gets tough. You deserve proven, stable leadership. And that is exactly what the PPM represents. And that is why I am here tonight as your PPM candidate for Georgetown Central. Cayman, it's time that we do it. So let's get it done. April 30th, vote for PPM, vote for proven, stable leadership. God bless you all, and God bless the Cayman Islands. Good night.
Moving backwards now. Thank you, Cayman, and thank you to everyone who showed up tonight to support the PPM. On April the 30th, vote PPM throughout the islands. But safe travels going home. But before we leave, or before you go home, we just have some refreshments across there by the tent. So we invite you to go over and have some refreshments. But safe travel tonight.
Forward in PPM. The hike in the pricing, but we should be fighting, cause these are our islands. People come together, exchange for the better. PPM ain't no quick ties. Experience the leader, something needs to happen. When it's something tried and true, to create a better future, we need you with you. We're moving forward with PPM, forward with PPM, forward. I see the light again. We're moving forward with PPM, forward with PPM, forward with PPM. We're tired of the fighting. We need some uniting. So please do the right thing for our Cayman Islands.